Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. On today's program, we're talking holiday events. We're going to highlight a number of offerings through Suffolk Parks and Recreation and also talk about the Suffolk Nansemond Historical Society's Candlelight Tour. Stay tuned. Welcome back to On the Scene. We're now coming to you from the Phillips Dawson House to talk about a very exciting event this holiday season. It's the Suffolk Nansemond Historical Society Candlelight Tour. And joining us to talk about the tour for this year, we have Sandra Council, who is both a board member and also the chair of the tour, and Nikki Lorenzen, who's the new director here with the Historical Society. Ladies, thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, let's talk about the tour. If you could tell us kind of when it's going to happen and what it is, before we get into the specifics about what people can experience on the tour itself.
Okay. This is our 38th Candlelight Tour for the Historical Society. We're raising money to help procure things that we need and to have a kitty so that we can do things that we want to do in the future, like we would like to have some exhibits full-time.
Right.
So we're raising money to help keep history and tradition alive in Suffolk. Our tour this year is on December the 6th and the 7th. It's 1 to 5 both days. You can buy tickets in advance at the Tourism Bureau, the train station, A. Dotson's. On the day of the tour, they're $25.
Okay.
And the wonderful thing I think about the tour this year is we have 6 houses. Right. They're all in walking distance of each other. You can walk the tour in 15 to 20 minutes. Another added feature of our tour this year is we're having Ricky and Roy serve food right in the middle of where all the houses are.
Okay.
So you can, of course, it's with a price, but he's making it very reasonable.
Very nice.
And you can go from one house to another. You could stop and have a cup of soup. You can have some hot chocolate. You can eat a Christmas cookie. And we're also hoping, Ricky and Roy's is going to be along the river in front of the houses. It's perfect location for the added tour.
Now the tour itself, it's in the Riverview area of Suffolk. If you could tell us a little bit about geographically, in a nutshell, where is that? Okay,
it's an older neighborhood in Suffolk. Actually, it was started being developed in the 1920s, and you get to it off Constance Road. You can go down Western Avenue, and you're going to run into the tour. You can go down Broad Street and definitely run into the tour. And it's plenty of parking on the street. You can park anywhere in the neighborhood.
So very accessible, easy to get to there. And as you noted, you can get the tickets in advance, or you said you could wait, but it's a little more expensive the day of if you choose to do that option. And then there you can just pick up and go on the tour, correct?
Yes, absolutely. We're going to have tickets sold at 4 places inside the tour area.
Got it.
So at 2 houses we'll have tickets, and then we have really sort of 4 houses close together, and we'll have somebody selling tickets that day.
Okay.
And our tickets, you can use them for 2 days, and what we do is you buy your ticket, and when you go into a house, we check it off. So if you decide to do 3 one day,
very nice.
you can do it 3.
So you can break it up as you need to, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Good deal. Now, as far as on the tour itself, what will, speak in general terms, and then we'll get into specifics, but what do people experience? What is a tour all about?
The tour, to me, is looking at houses that I love personally.
Right.
Really neat houses that have been decorated by local people, local garden clubs. So it's to put us in the Christmas spirit. This year we call the tour Riverview Tradition with a Twist. And I got the idea because I know a lot of young people that live in my neighborhood, and they've taken older homes, and I just love how they made them bright and fresh and modern art. You know, when you walk in my house, you can see that, you know, I might have a hunting print in my house.
Sure, okay.
Whereas a lot of young people have modern art and they just look bright and cheerful.
Everybody's spin on it, yeah, right.
Yes, so I personally think it's a great tour, and it's a great tour because we have wonderful people who have graciously opened their houses for us.
Now, 6 houses, which I believe you said is the most you've ever had on a
Yes,
tour.
yes.
So let's talk about the houses. Give us a little bit about each of the 6 locations that people will be going to.
Okay, 4 of our houses are on West Riverview, so
Okay.
that makes it very easy. The first house I'm going to talk about is the Clay White House. It's on Riverview, and it looks out on the water. At one point, we had Smith Creek and a little creek called Calhoun Street, and they dammed it up, and now we have Lake Mead. And so a lot of these houses, when they were built, didn't have a great water view.
Right.
And now everybody on that side of the neighborhood has a fabulous view to wake up to and go to sleep to. The gentleman that built the Clay White House liked to hunt and fish, and he had a dock right down the back of his house, which
Okay.
is still there, and you can do that. Then if we continue with the houses on Riverview, the first one you're going to get to after you leave the Clay White House, if you're walking, will be the Birdsong House. And the Birdsong House was built in the 1920s, and it sort of has an English cottage feel to it.
Right.
And I believe at that house you're going to be able to have some refreshments.
Okay.
The next house is Thomas Woodward's house, and Thomas and Shannon were the first people to say yes to me for the tour, but Thomas's mother did the tour, most of its history.
Got it.
So he knows how important it is to be part of the team. Their house is like the oldest house. It was built in 1925. It has the most spectacular view of any house. So when you go in Thomas and Shannon's house, I'm sorry you're just going to stand there and stare at this view.
Well,
the next
Tampa gets
house is the Adams House, and that house was built like a Williamsburg house.
Okay.
It's very large, and it's really very modern. She put a modern flair to the inside as soon as she moved in.
Got it.
When you go around the corner on Dumbville, you can go take a long walk or a short walk.
Okay.
It's the Haas House.
Okay.
And that house is the most unusual house in Riverview.
Okay.
It's not one of the 1920 houses. It is so very modern, but it started out as a little house, and then they came in and added this huge, very modern wing to it. It has a real croquet lawn.
Oh, wow.
Because they play croquet in tournaments.
Got it.
Fabulous swimming pool. On the days of the tour, they're going to show Christmas movies in their downstairs theater
Oh, neat.
and serve popcorn and Coca-Cola.
That's the price of admission right there.
Right. One is Miracle of 34th Street, and I'm sure the other one is the famous one that everybody watches
Right.
at Christmas time. And my favorite part of that house are the bathrooms. I mean, seriously, you have to go in every one. They're all unusual. And then you just come around the corner, and the last house is going to be the Johnson House. The Johnson House was built in the 1950s, and it was one of the last houses built in our neighborhood.
Okay.
Her house I love because it's very modern, it's very eclectic. They have wonderful collections, and I just think their collections alone are a wonderful thing to view. So, all in a little cluster, you
Right.
have 6 fabulous houses.
Well, that's really unique. And now on the tour, do you have a certain amount of time in each house, or really you can kind of stay and peruse as you'd like based on the time for the tour itself?
Well, you can, yes. I mean, we do not rush you in.
Right,
We do
okay,
not rush
right,
you
right.
in. Another thing that we try to do, our hostesses are not going to give you a long spiel.
Got it.
If they don't tell you as much as you would like to know, you just ask them, can you tell me something about that desk or
Right. So you got
whatever.
great resources on site, so you can kind of explore and talk with them as you need
Yes,
to.
right.
Very good. Now, Nikki, let's talk about the proceeds from the tour. What do they do for the society itself?
Well, the proceeds go towards helping us put out our publications. We have a few books that we've produced over the years, which you can find at the train station. They also help us put out our newsletter, which we try and put out about 4 times a year for
Okay.
our members. We're also undergoing kind of a collections rehousing, revitalization project right now. So hopefully some of those proceeds are going to be able to buy us those archival materials that we really need to make sure that this collection can continue into the future
Correct.
for as long as possible. And we're also hoping to be working on developing some public programming in the
Okay.
future that the proceeds of this will go help towards.
Great, okay. And again, so the Candlelight Tour, December 6th and 7th,
Yes.
correct? In the Riverview area of Suffolk, pardon me. But talk again, Sandra, one more time about how people can get tickets both in advance and the day of, and again, what the prices are, and also the times for those 2 dates as well.
Okay, the tour is going to be December the 6th and 7th. It's from 1 to 5.
Right.
You can buy tickets at the train station, and also at the train station, one of the days, we're going to have a local author signing her books
Oh, nice.
on Western Branch.
Okay.
You can buy them at tourism, which I would like to say to Suffolk, they did a beautiful job on the tourism building. I just love going in there.
We're all very proud of it.
Yes, and I've spent a lot of time in there lately. So, yes, we're very proud of that. And you can get them at A. Dotson's.
Okay.
And that's a gift shop, and she's in North Suffolk, she's in Norfolk, and in Virginia Beach.
Okay.
If you buy your ticket before the tour, they're $20.
Okay.
The day of the tour, they're $25. The tickets can be used for 2 days because they're going to check off what you do.
Right.
And we're just hoping everyone comes out. We hope everyone supports us. I think it's going to be a wonderful tour, and I'd like to thank all of our sponsors.
Great. Well, ladies, thank you again for both joining us today to talk about this great tour coming up. Again, it's a unique opportunity in Suffolk that you can take advantage of, taking a look at some very spectacular homes, as you said, decked out to the nines for the holidays.
Yes, absolutely.
So again, if
definitely.
you're thinking of maybe some late in the game decorating ideas for your home, you can pick up some tips and some things right here. Again, great historical resources will be on site as well. And as you noted, there'll be food for sale along the way. So if you
Yes.
need some refreshment, you have that opportunity as well. So again, that will do it where we talk about the tour, but we have more on the scene coming up right after this. Welcome back to On the Scene. We're now here at the Suffolk Parks and Recreation Administration Office. Very special time of year. It's the holiday season, and we're going to be talking about some holiday events that are coming up that will be offered through the Suffolk Parks and Recreation Department. And to talk about those events, we have two very special guests today. We have Caitlin Jordan, who is a therapeutic recreation specialist, and Jason Pittman, who is a recreation supervisor, both with Suffolk Parks and Rec. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Now, Caitlin, we're going to kick it off with you, and before we get into your event, which of course is the Breakfast with Santa, tell us a little bit about therapeutic recreation. What are we talking about when we talk about that topic?
Therapeutic recreation provides opportunities for individuals with disabilities and special needs to experience recreational activities and special events. So the program is committed to providing recreation awareness in the community, physical endurance, and also individual independence.
Okay. Now, your event, the Breakfast with Santa, ties directly into therapeutic recreation. Kind of explain to us what Breakfast with Santa is all about, where it's going to take place, and any of the details associated with the event.
Breakfast with Santa is for children 10 and under with a special need or disability. It's a family event, so if they do have a sibling, they're more than welcome to bring the sibling.
Very nice.
The event is December 6th
Okay.
from 9 to 10:30 in the morning
Okay.
at the Planners Club in Suffolk. The cost is a new unwrapped toy for children. If parents would like to eat, they can pay $5 as well. The event will have Santa, and he will be available for pictures. There will be a story time with the library, and also an ornament station, so the kids can make an ornament to take home with them.
Now, if someone is watching this program, would like more information, or maybe to register, do you need pre-registration with the event?
We do need pre-registration, and registration is available online at the Parks and Recreation website.
Can they also call the administration office or you to do so as well?
Yes, they can.
Okay, and what is your number?
My number is 514-7264.
Okay. Now, with the event throughout, again, the time frame for the event was when?
9 to 10:30
9 to
a.m.
10:30. So again, obviously there's breakfast.
Yes,
Which
there's-
will be what? What kind of food are you going to have?
We're catered by Roy and Ricky's. It
Okay.
will be eggs and bacon and
Nice.
fruit and juice and
Sounds like a perfect meal when you're meeting with Santa,
Yes.
right? Yes. And then again, will there be other activities or anything else going on besides the photos and also the breakfast itself?
the library will do the story time, kind
Right.
of an interactive, and then the ornament station, kind
Okay.
of. So it will be a craft. They'll be making the ornament.
Very nice. Is there a deadline for registration?
No,
Okay.
space is limited,
Okay.
so
Okay. So again, if you want to get in on the fun,
Yes.
give you a call, or as you said, you can go online to the Parks and Rec website. We'll
Yes,
have
sir.
that web address up there as well. All right, we'll shift gears for just a second. Jason, we got a couple of events to talk about with you. We've talked about Breakfast with Santa. Now we have a lunch with Santa. So Santa's a busy guy around here in the city of Suffolk. Where's the lunch with Santa? Tell us about the details on that.
Well, we're really excited this year again for Lunch with Santa. This year the event will be at Northern Shores Recreation Center.
Okay.
And we're ready to kick off the holiday season with all the little boys and girls ready to meet Santa.
Yes.
So we do have Santa. He will be in attendance.
Okay.
And he'll be ready to take the wish list from the kids as well as take photos.
Very nice. Now, again, for that, do you want pre-registration for that as well?
We do want pre-registration.
Okay.
The event itself is from 11 to 1.
11 to 1,
And we
okay.
do want pre-registration. The cutoff deadline is November the 28th.
Okay. Now, with that as well, can you go online to register or perhaps call the administration office here or maybe a recreation center itself?
Yes, Northern Shores Recreation Center is
Okay.
taking registrations.
All right.
You can also register online,
Okay.
and if you have questions, you can email Lee Wilson at lawilson@suffolkva.us.
Perfect. And again, we'll have that information up so everybody can jot that down. So again, we've covered breakfast and lunch with Santa. Well, the big guy is also going to be here for a parade. We have our annual Suffolk Holiday Parade. I believe that's December the 13th, right here in downtown Suffolk. Let's talk about the particulars with that. No, well, actually, the big question to lead off with is, still taking registration for that. Is that correct?
Actually, registration just cut off.
Close. Okay. All right. So we have our field set, right?
We sure do.
Okay. Now, with the parade, talk a little bit about the route. Is it the typical route that we've seen in recent years where it comes down, let's see, Washington, turns left onto Main, and then comes by Prentice?
Yes, the
Okay.
parade route is the same as it is in years past. We are doing a night parade once again this year.
Very
That'll
good.
step off promptly at 7 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
It does start at the corner of Washington and Henley. It proceeds down and makes a left onto Main Street.
Right.
And then a left onto Prentice before concluding.
Now, again, I know there's performances throughout the parade. Where's the judging going to take place? So in case people wanted to be
Yes.
near that area.
The judging does take place on Prentice Street.
Okay.
We have a Prentice Street grandstand. If citizens are also interested in the other grandstand areas, we do have grandstands at the Sun Trust on Main Street and also on Washington Street by the corner of Washington and South.
Again, plenty of action throughout the parade route to take part in. Now, what type of entries, if no one's been to a Suffolk parade before, of course you have bands, we know that, but again, what other kind of entries do we have? And also, what's the theme for this year?
The theme for this year, I'm glad you asked him,
Sure.
is musical down Main Street.
Okay.
So of course, we're looking forward to hearing the bands incorporate that into their themes. But we also have floats. And of course, with it being a night parade, we like to emphasize the lighting up the night and lighting up the holidays
Right,
here in Suffolk.
right.
So we're definitely looking forward to a host of motorized units, walking units, marching units, and floats as well.
Very good. So the parade kicks off at what time?
7 o'clock.
So again, what do you think it is from start to finish? By the time it comes by the reviewing stand on Prentice and kind of finishes up down there, what are we talking about duration?
I would say the
approximately?
approximate duration will be between an hour and a half.
Okay, and again, of course, obviously that's free and open to the public because again, we're out there on the streets right there, but everybody's welcome to come on out, wear your jacket in case it's cold or anything, but hopefully we got some good weather for that and we can get that parade in this year, right?
Definitely, we're looking forward to it.
Now again, we transition from the parade to Santa's Calling, which again will be coming up a little bit later in December. Talk a little bit about what that, again, we're keyed into Santa, very technological age we're in right now. He's not texting, he's calling.
That's right.
All right, okay.
Okay.
So Santa's Calling, I know that's a tradition here. So talk about how parents or care providers can get their child signed up so they get that very special phone call.
Okay, so we do have an application as a registration process. Parents can visit the website
Right.
and get the information there. They can also come here to the Suffolk Parks and Recreation Administration office.
Okay.
And we're located at 134 South 6th Street.
Okay.
And they can register through that process. Now, we're really happy. Santa's ready to make some calls.
Sure.
Reach out and call the children and really brighten their holidays with a personalized phone call straight to them direct from Santa.
Okay, and again, it's coming from Santa, or do we have some Santa's helpers also kind of helping out?
We do
along
have
with-
Santa's helpers as
Okay,
well.
yeah.
Santa is very busy during
Right.
the time, so we may have some of his elves helping out and some
Got
of
it.
his helpers as well.
Yeah, some of us like to do emails or texts, but you got to pick up the phone, which means one-on-one conversation.
That's right.
Okay. Now, is there any cost for this program?
There is no cost.
Okay.
It's free.
All right.
It is a free program, and the dates are December, excuse me. The dates are December the 15th and December the 16th.
Okay.
Calls will be made between 6:30 and 8:30.
Okay. And again, when did you say the registration deadline is for that?
Registration deadline is December the 12th.
So December the 12th. And again, the 15th and 16th, if you want to get that special call from Santa or one of Santa's helpers. So again, the North Pole will be linking out to the city of Suffolk there. Caitlin, we'll jump back over to you again. We talked about the breakfast with Santa, kicking it off. Tell us again the date, the time, and also again, if they'd like to register for that event, if you could also provide your contact information.
Yes. Breakfast with Santa is December 6th from 9 to 10:30 a.m. at the Planners Club. If you would like to pre-register, we ask that you do. You can contact me at kjordan@suffolkva.us or 514-7264.
Okay, so again, that's the breakfast with Santa. And Jason, again, lunch with Santa is December the 6th. Okay, and that'll be held at?
Northern Shores Recreation Center.
And again, that we'd like pre-registration for that as well.
Yes.
Okay. The parade we said is Saturday, December the 13th, and that kicks off at?
7 o'clock.
Again, we got a quiz going on here. And we finish up with Santa's Calling, which is December.
15th and 16th.
And again, we'd like pre-registration for that as well.
Correct.
And all the information for these programs and more can be found on the Suffolk Parks and Recreation website. Again, the registration information can be found there. Again, a lot of that great information is there, out there. And also invite you to check out the Suffolk Holiday website. We'll have that website address up there as well, covering both events for Suffolk Parks and Recreation and our Suffolk Division of Tourism. So again, a lot of great holiday happenings here in the city of Suffolk. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you, Tim.
And again, I would like to say again, hope you have a very happy holiday season here in the city of Suffolk. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We'll see you next time on the Scene.